Hello, welcome to Todd Miller TV. I was reading an article online on DSNews.com. For those of you who don't know what DSNews is, it's default servicing news. That's the industry that's built around the foreclosure industry. Anyway, so here's the interesting number. 4.6 million mortgages are delinquent. So that's quite a bit. So that means 4.6 million people that have mortgages are not paying. And this is the breakdown, okay? First of all, that's down from last year. Last year at this time it was 5.6, it's 4.6. So there's a million mortgages that have been resolved. They've either came back current, they got a loan mod, or they got a principal reduction, or they just got foreclosed on. One of those four things, or they were paid off, right? And those were all resolved. But of that 4.6, only 1.3 million of those are actually in the foreclosure pipeline, meaning an NOD has been filed or it's on its way to a notice of trustee sale. That's not including foreclosed properties. These are only pre-foreclosures, okay? So that difference is 3.3 million. Now, why that number is meaningful is because that's 1 in 15 mortgages. 1 in 15 mortgages is delinquent and not in foreclosure. So this is why this number is so big, and then I'm going to tell you why it's important for you to know this. Okay, the first reason is because it is no longer socially unacceptable to not pay your mortgage. People brag about it. I haven't paid my mortgage in months, they haven't foreclosed. It's a source of pride, right? Because everyone else, it's happened to everybody else. So it's not a big deal anymore. So that whole psychology has caused people to just get in this mindset of just saying, hey, one of my options is not paying the mortgage, when 20 or 30 years ago or even longer ago, that would have been an embarrassment to like stop paying your mortgage and have your house taken away. Okay, why is this number important to you? Well, there's been this talk of this flood of properties that are going to hit the market, drive down prices. But look what's happened in just a year. 1 million properties that were loans that were non-performing or that people weren't paying, that's gone. It's went from 5.6 to 4.6. And yeah, that's a really high number. And depending on where you are in the country, it's probably not a problem. In other places, it's more of a problem. But the banks are starting to work this out. The foreclosures are taking effect. That cleans out the problem. Short sales are happening. That cleans out the problem. Loan mods, that fixes the problem. So we're kind of getting back to equilibrium. For those of you who think that prices are going to collapse because the bank are like sitting on these properties and they're just going to flood the market, it's never going to happen. I called this like probably 2 years ago when other people were saying there'd be a tsunami. I called it. You can go back and check the video blog and look where I called it was over. The REO boom was over. There's still going to be REO, and this is still going to happen, but it's not going to be like it was in 07, 8, and 9. It's not going to be anything like that. So I thought I would share that. DSNews.com, that's kind of my go-to place for stuff going on in the REO industry. And if you go to the site, it's pretty obvious that it's they've got all the information right there. So anyway, I saw that. I thought I would tell you guys about it so you would know the numbers and what they mean to you, basically, when you're trying to make your decision buying or selling a house. Anyway, that is my update for today, and hope to see you on another video. Thanks.